What's going on? What's going on, YouTube? Rello's Mellow Garden. Today, I'm doing something that I've kind of wanted to see done. It's been hard for me to find like a video with a format like this. But as you can see, we've got all 6 of the plants we're growing out right now. Because today we're going to put the trellis up inside the tent. So we've got the indoor girls up here. We're going to be giving the tent a good cleaning because we're not really going to be able to get in and do much once the trellis is up. And all that good stuff. I'm debating if I want to defoliate these today. And then maybe hopefully, or we'll get into it, but essentially we've got them out because we're going to be cleaning out the tent today to set up the trellis. And I had been looking up on YouTube and looking for like different blogs or journals online to sort of see a difference in outdoor and indoor growing, like a side-by-side comparison. And I think there's some out there, but I don't know, it's sort of something I wanted to see myself and wanted to document. I don't know if I found any that were exactly like this, side-by-side comparisons. Now, the only thing that would make our comparison better is if these were clones, but they're not. These were all started from seed. But as you guys know, we've got 6 plants running of 3 strains. So 2 of each row here will be the same strain. So here we've got the Ice Cold by Soulfire Gardens. That's the indoor. This is the outdoor. You can kind of see them there together. Here we've got the Oreos, not by Soulfire. It's a little freebie seed I got 2 of them. So here, both of them are. The indoor up here, the outdoor up here. These ones you see the biggest night and day difference between outdoor growing and indoor growing. That size comparison is pretty big. And then over here, of course, we've got the NF Sheesh, also by Soulfire Gardens, the indoor and the outdoor. This outdoor one has gotten fucking huge over the last few days. It really just shot up, but we're gonna get into that as well. Just the base comparison here, you can see it's sort of the difference between outdoor and indoor growing. Plus, I guess another difference is the indoors. Of course, we've been doing heavy amounts of LST. Pretty much their whole vegetative state, they've been getting some sort of LST, then a little bit of growing up, then more LST, Whereas with the outdoor girls, eventually, once they were a little bit over a foot or something, the height wasn't what I used to top them. It was when they started to put out auxiliary branches is what I used to top them. When they started showing auxiliary branches is when we decided they were at a good enough point to top. If y'all remember with the outdoors in the past videos. However, I think they were maybe 1.5 feet tall. And now these are all coming up on 2 feet tall for the outdoors, or they have passed 2 feet tall. Whereas the indoors, we're still waiting on the Oreos there to reach a foot. Get into it in a second. But yep, you can see, wow, sort of the differences just by visual look. Then we come in here. So I guess another time I probably might do this experiment in the future. I'll probably do it with clones and I'll grow them out the same exact way. So either I'll do topping on both outdoor and indoor, or I won't do topping at all, heavy LST on both or light LST on both. Yeah. But what I'm sure the LST did make a difference in, right, these could probably be taller, the indoors. I don't know if they would be as tall as the outdoors. And of course the outdoors they would be a little shorter and they would be more bushed out. They would have more tops. When we come in, and you'll see that these have, well, you could probably already kind of see they have a lot more tops than the indoor girls. But, something I don't know that would have made a difference of whether we did LST with these or the massive size of these leaves, as you can see. Come in and bring that in there versus, I guess we can just pull it over. Or I guess I kind of wanted to keep space on these. I don't want bugs hopping off, but I've got a close eye on it right now. So yeah, you can see the difference in those leaves. Huge difference. I feel like that it must just be a difference between the power of the sun and the power of the LED lights that we use in our tents, because I don't feel as if the LST, if we had done that to this these outdoor plants, I don't think it would have made a dramatic difference in this leaf. Or I don't think the LST that we did do to our indoors made them this small compared to the outdoors here. So I think that is just one noticeable difference with because again, this is my first time doing anything outdoors, third time growing indoors. So one obvious notice is just how much more powerful and how much more they love the sun. And also the front row, the indoor girls, they're actually older than the outdoor girls, so that's another thing. Even with the fact they've been heavily trained, they're much older, and you can still just see that massive difference on them, especially with the Oreos. Again, the indoors girl Oreos up here is not even a foot tall yet. And yeah, but these are older, and actually today makes day 80. Now we stunted these indoor girls for like 20 days, but since they sprouted above soil, it's technically been 80 days. But I would call it 60 days of good growth. But it's been 80 days since they've been above the dirt. Whereas this back row, the outdoor girls, they have been above the dirt for about 58 days today, and they were probably stunted for 14 days. So again, you say a little less, but whatever, right? We go 58 back here and 80 up here. All right, so it's another huge difference in how big they grow outdoors. And these are back row are 58 days above the dirt, and they have been outdoors for 36 days today. And they've been in 5-gallon pots there for 14 days. Whereas these have been above the dirt for 80 days. Of course, all of that has been indoors, and they've been in 5-gallon pots for 17 days. And the differences you can see. Again, obviously indoor you're going to do a lot of LST. Space is confined, so we did that. Outdoor we did not do much training at all. A little bit of training, the one on here fell off when I brought it in. The little bit of somewhat training we've done is basically just coming in and pushing the tops of the plant down, and when we can sort of kind of get them the way I got this branch over here, how it's curving under, had to curve under because I stuck it under, and now it's looping back up, which sort of helping control the height. I'm going to start doing that on the NF sheesh when it gets to a little better point I can. That one's getting a little taller than I want it. We're gonna get to that though. But again, ice cold Soulfire Gardens here. 58 days old, 36 outside, 80 days old, 80 days inside. Come in here, it's got a lot of tops. Got like 1, 2, a little unhappy bent one there, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, right there. You got 17, 18, 19. I think that'll be a 20, 21, a 22, right back there, here. And honestly, this auxiliary branch is going to grow out enough, so that might as well be a 23. And this one is going to make it as well, so it might as well count a 24. So roughly about 24, maybe a little more hidden in there. Tops we got on that ice cold. Ice cold is known to be a large plant, meaning it likes to spread out. If you train it, it's going to bush out like this real nice. You see, we can't even see the bottom of our, or the top of our medium, right? We can't see the dirt. Which is a good sign that it's growing well, but especially with that being indoors, and don't get as much air as outdoors. We definitely do want to defoliate that. But we'll be waiting until like a day or two before we flip to flower. And we want the indoor girls to get to about 1.5 feet in height. At least the ice coated NF sheesh. Obviously the Oreos is too far behind. But back here on this outdoors Oreo, again, very limited low stress training. You can kind of see how I have this one bent down. It hasn't fully bounced back up. It rained outdoors and it was overcast, but it looked like the sun is out now. So when I take these back outside, they're gonna perk up and all that. But you can see this was one of our main tops on here. I had topped them, our ice cold, but unfortunately with the little bending process I was doing, and all the way down here, we had the other top that came after topping it. We snapped it off completely, tried to tape it back. It was too far gone. It pretty much died as soon as it snapped. So eventually I just took it off of there, but it's all good. It allows like these other auxiliaries now, tops, to catch up. But yeah, we've got the one here, these two. So that's 3, 4, 5. This will be a 6 right here. 7, 8, a 9th, a 10th, and 11th. And that's pretty much with topping, and again, very little LST. The main good sign of LST is like on this main top. You see we got those auxiliaries to come out. But on here, this is just like its own branch coming out of the main stem. We don't really have auxiliaries branching out of it. Same thing with most of them. But it still managed to pull off almost about half as many. If we would have not broke the other one, that would have been 12. So it has about half as many tops as our ice coat up here, which our indoor small one up here, we did not top it. See, this is its main top right here. Never been topped. Still have 24 tops out of it. You do not have to top your plants to get it to bush out and give you a lot of tops. LST works just as well. In fact, you keep an extra. You keep a cola, because right with LST or with topping, what we would have did was take this top off, and we would have kept these two little auxiliaries you see to the side of it. Alright, but we've already got those now, so we just got 3. Where if we would have topped this, yeah, it would have helped these grow out quicker, but you would only have 2 up here. So you really lose the top when you top a plant. It just helps the other ones to grow out quicker. Again, you just come in, doing this like this itself, bending this down, and keep these up like that. All right, so we bend down the main part of the top and keep these little auxiliaries up. That right there alone will be enough to allow those to really pop out of there. And boom, you've got 3 instead of topping it and getting 2 if this was a new plant. And obviously we hadn't done all the work, right? This would just be the one main stem. Instead of topping it right here, bend that top, let these grow out. You've got 3 tops instead of 2, which is what you get by topping it. And obviously if you don't do anything, you have 1. And you can also see that sort of logic I had working over here as well. This is one of our main tops with the outdoor. Again, I don't have this whole thing from right where it grows out down here bent down. All you have to do is get the very, like honestly, I wouldn't even have to have this portion bent. You could just all you have to do is have this top piece bent down lower than the stuff growing out of the sides, and it will make them grow up. So again, I could top this again and it would help these grow out quicker. But again, if we just keep it bent, these will grow up and this will grow up. So this will grow up, these 2 will grow up. So that'll be 3 instead of just getting the 2 to grow up a little quicker. All right. But again, we did top these outdoor plants mainly because 1, I wanted to keep them a little lower too. With the way they were growing, it was a little more difficult to do LST. I think most people, if you don't have a trellis, I think most people do a lot of topping when they grow outdoors. This isn't the official type of trellis I'd want to probably do something like take those wood there or get like PVC pipe and build a trellis net between it and set that up outdoors. It might be a minute before I run another outdoor grow, but that's what I would have liked to do. Yeah, that's the difference there between those. Oreos here is the biggest difference. Really, the NFCs is a big difference as well, just because of how big that outdoor one got, but we'll get to that. As you see, the Oreos is very small here. Again, it's about 9 inches tall. Oh, yeah, I don't know if I mentioned. This ice coat here is about 14.5 inches tall, while the outdoors is about 24.5 inches tall, or 25, I think. If I lift this top back up, with it bent down, it's about 24. With that top back up, it's 25.5. Anyways, back to this Oreos. 9.25 inches tall. Has not got very big at all. It's somewhat on its way to kind of overflowing the pot like the or ice cold and NFC sharp. But as you see, clearly it's just not as massive. It's the smallest plant in here. This is our first pheno of Oreos we popped. Again, it's the older one, so it's the first pheno. That's what you would call these since they're the same strain, right? But not a clones. So they're just different phenotypes. Both Oreos and all that. And again, phenotypes aren't going to give you this dramatic of a difference in growth generally. This is again mainly due to outdoors versus indoors. A lot of LST versus little LST. As you see, it's got a lot of tops still. This is tinier, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Those down in there is a little small. I ain't even gonna count them, but it could be 23, but we'll say 21 on the Oreos. 21 tops, still a lot, just small. Come to the indoors. This one we topped a little later than the ice cold, or the outdoors. We topped a little later, but it's been topped as well. It was topped down in there. It's kind of healed up, or That's not what I want to see. Just top down in there. It's kind of healed up. You can see the 1. We got a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, a little 9th, and a 10th, and an 11th one over there. So yeah, got about the same amount of tops as the whatever, ice cold. Oreos is growing a weird for multiple reasons. One, ever since it's been topped, you can see this leaf. It's a weird little 3-pointed duck-toed leaf. It's got a lot of these weird looking leaves on it. Run right here. This is more of the type of stuff you would expect to see with, again, different phenotypes, right? Little weird mutations could pop up that don't pop up on the other plant, all that type of stuff. As you see, another weird little leaf. You come down here, prior to topping it, they were growing normal. As you can see, that's a normal leaf. Normal leaf. This would be the other node, still lower than on the topping site. You're one of them bugs that I don't want jumping and stuff. But as soon as we get above the topping, yeah, even this one is a little funny shape. It's kind of normal, but funny shape. A lot of weird looking leaves. Not really a big issue as long as they still produce chloroform and aid in photosynthesis, but a little funny thing worth noting, I guess. Now, what is a bit more concerning is the fact that you come in here, you can see it's kind of putting out all these pistils. You can generally see a little bit of pistils during pre-flower. I'm sure there'll be a better example on one of these that I'll show you of what pistils during pre-flower should probably more so look like. This has a lot. These look like little clusters of buds coming up, but it's not like the plant is stretched any, so I don't think it's in flower. I would assume, right, if it had stretched, it'd be taller than these other two right now. They haven't stretched, don't have any pistil clusters. But yeah, that's that there. Oreos. Now we can come over here to this NF sheesh. She is about, indoors here, is about 15 inches tall. Need her to grow about 3 more inches so I can get these girls in flower. But yeah, she got pretty big. Filling out this pot nice. Think she got like 17 tops or 18 tops on her. Maybe she got up to 20. Yeah, she's about 15 inches tall. And oddly enough, the outdoor NSC here, which again, you just look at her, you can see how massive she is. It's about double the height exactly. She's around 30 inches, which is funny because obviously, if you guys remember, she wasn't branching out for the longest. It took her forever to get these auxiliaries, which is now growing beautiful on her, to start coming out. So I had topped the ice cold initially because it was branching out the best, which I guess is just kind of a trait for this strain, because even up here with the outdoor or indoor, it did the best with the low stress training, branched out the best. As you can see, did the best there. So she had started branching out first outdoors. So I topped her first. Then I had topped the Oreos maybe half a week later. And the NFC again just got topped like 2 days ago. And for the longest, right, they were all pretty much around the same height. Again, like I said, she right here, the Oreos is like 23.5 or something inches. If that's not bent down, the ice cold is about 25.5. So they're 2 inches apart basically. And this one was right along with them, right? I think last time I measured these prior to feeling like I needed to top her or whatever, right? This was like 20 something inches as well, early 20s and mid 20s, 23, 24 inches, right? Despite having not been topped, it wasn't really outgrowing these two. Then at some point over the last few days, it just shot up, right? Now it's about 2'6", which made me, I knew I had to top it, all right? So now in this pot, all right, it's about at my waist. And I'm pretty sure it likes to grow tall, because even again with the indoors with all their training, they've all had the same treatment, right? The NFC has grown the tallest. It's 15 inches tall, about half an inch to an inch taller than the Ice Cold, well taller than the Oreos. And I'm also pretty sure that means it's probably going to stretch the most out of these three. So I'm gonna definitely have to come in and keep trying to train it under this trellis and try to keep it down a bit. But yeah, I'm pretty sure she's probably gonna be 5-something feet tall come flower. I didn't really want them to get above 4 feet, but you'll make do. So I got these. Hopefully as they start stretching, I can sort of tuck and wrap them around. And it'll turn out good. But yeah, it's sort of just the difference in outdoor growing again, or outdoor versus indoor. All of them again, you'll see that huge leaf difference, right? There we are. This is it. Rello's Mellow Garden. If you ain't done it, leave us a like. Drop a little subscribe. Share the video. It's hard to grow these type of channels if you like the content. Indoor versus outdoor. As far as yields and all that, we'll have to see. I'm going to be flipping these indoor ones into flower within the next 4 days, hopefully. Again, I just need them to shoot up about 3 inches. And these outdoor girls, I'm assuming, are going to start flower in August. That's when the light time should be right outdoors. So they'll both probably be done sometime around September, October. And we'll see how the yields and the quality, what terpene profiles we get out of them. If either one, outdoor, indoors, has a more potent scent effect, all that good stuff, we'll see. But yeah, we out.